Munster Senior C hurling final between Pallaskenry and Scariff from County Clare. Two teams lining out. First Pallaskenry. In goals, Cian Hederman. And 2, Josh Adams. Number 3, Evan Considine. Paddy O'Connor, number 4. In the half-back line, Robert O'Grady, number 5. Ross Griffin, number 6. Luke Dorr, number 7. Tom O'Shea, 8. And Killian Gavin, number 9, midfield. In the half-forward line, Jordan McKeown, number 10. Andrew Cliff, 11. TJ O'Connor, 12. And 13, Robert Davern. 14, Evan McCarthy. And number 15 is Darren O'Connell. In the Scariff team, number 1 in goals, Andrew O'Dwyer. Conor Apsell, Ian O'Doyle, and Dave McGrath in the full back line. Andrew Flaherty, Colin Burke, Derek McNamara in the half back line. Ruben Noyes, Michael Barrett in the midfield. Sean Minogue, Martin Cunningham, Shane Corrie in the half forward line. And Paddy McNamara, John Scanlon, and Ian Murray in the full forward line. Two captains, John Scanlon from Scariff and Ross Griffin from Pallaskenry after contesting the throw-in. And it seems that in first half Scariff are going to be playing with the aid of a very strong breeze down the field. Now we're going to have a minute's silence. Barry Nash, was it? Was that what it was? Was it Barry Nash? Referee is John Butler from Tipperary. He's about to throw in. Both sides have reached this game after some very impressive results. Palace were a hard-fought win over St Augustine's in the semi-final, 114 to 14 points, whereas Scariff had a 2-10 to 11 victory over Carnavar. And we're off into the first half of this game. Killian Gavin going down over the ball. Scariff coming away with a caught by a high challenge there from Tom O'Shea in the first free in there now for Scariff. Won there by number 8, Ruben Noyes. Corner forward there. Ian Murray, quick ball in there now into Martin Cunningham. Cunningham blocked down there very well. Hand back there, back into Andrew Flaherty. Flaherty trying to play the ball down the wing. Stopped off there by Pallaskenry. Andrew Cliff wanted to get rid of it quickly there now. Referee John Butler telling him to hold back and bring it back a small bit. Tom O'Shea is standing over this one now to take the free for Pallaskenry. Killian Gavin, nice long high ball inside into the full forward line. Is dropping down inside Evan McCarthy. McCarthy put up the paw, but he's back away. Andrew Cliff went to the breaking ball. Cliff tries the ball. It's just going to go inside the post, and a great score there by Andrew Cliff. First score for Pallaskenry from play. Great point there from Andrew Cliff. Came onto the breaking ball, threw the ball over the bar. Beautifully scored by Pallaskenry. Long puck out there by Andrew O'Dwyer for Scariff, landing inside around the half forward line. Great clutch where Ross Griffin now drives the ball down inside and towards the full forward line. Coming out towards this now is Robert Davern. Davern trying to get inside the ball, but he's beaten out by the cornerback in David McGrath. McGrath clearing it up the field now. It's coming up into Moore's midfield, half forward line. And scrapping there now is Ruben Noyes. Noyes trying to get the ball out, but it's cleared out towards the sideline. And so it comes Michael Barrett for Scariff. Barrett sent inside, but it's picked up there by number 2, Josh Adams. Adams clearing it out towards the side. Coming as far as Robert O'Grady. O'Grady trying to get the ball up, sent it up as far now as TJ O'Connor. O'Connor whipping on the ball, send it down now towards Tom O'Shea, gets onto it. He's driving past 2 Scariff men up in towards the 45-yard line. He's tackled there, however, by Martin Cunningham. Puts the ball out over the sideline, and it's going to be a line ball now to Pallaskenry. Killian Gavin coming across to take this one now from Pallas. Gavin in towards the full forward line there, run past the half back line, but it's picked up the side there by Ian Doyle now gets his clearance away out towards the wing. He's coming down here towards the sideline now, coming onto this now with 17 Shane Corrie is beaten to whatever by Luke Doran. Battling inside, Andrew Cliff comes away with the ball now, gets up in his hand first time. He's tackled there by the midfielder from Gareth, but back in towards Luke Doran is sent inside, dropped inside by the goalkeeper, it's break inside, but he managed to get a second attempt and he's coming out over the sideline, challenged there by number 13 Robert Davern. Gets us half clearance out towards now as far as TJ O'Connor. O'Connor settles up, sending it back in towards full forward line, whipped to the side there by Darren O'Connell. O'Connell trying to get onto the breaking ball. But again, Ian Doyle coming out with this now, but it's very tippy-tappy kind of hurling here from Scariff as number 4, Dave McGrath effects the clearance, but again, it's only going out as far as midfield, and onto it comes Killian Gavin. Gavin driving past Martin Cunningham, getting the shot away, but this is going to be a wide, however, for Pallaskenry. Unlucky there from Killian Gavin. First wide of the game. Long puck up, and Andrew Dwyer driving down towards the half forward line. Ross Griffin coming onto the breaking ball now, driving past, little hand pass inside to Killian Gavin. Gavin is settling up, sending it out towards TJ O'Connor, going over his head, but O'Connor gets down over the ball. He's tackled there by David McNamara. McNamara hashing again for the ball. Coming to it is now his centre back Colin Burke. Burke getting the half clearance away, but it's blocked down. It goes out for a line, or it's a free out, sorry, for Scariff. For John Butler thought there was something wrong with the challenge there, the tackle from the Pallaskenry player. Over now to take this comes David McNamara for Scariff. Cut there by David McNamara coming down in towards the half forward line. Onto this comes 19 Paddy McNamara. McNamara's sending it inside now towards the full forward line, but it's claimed inside there by number 17 for Conor Quinn for Pallaskenry. However, he's dispossessed there now, trying to hassle and get it back. Luke Doran coming into his head, but Scariff coming away with the ball out towards Martin Cunningham. Cunningham got the shot away, but that's just going to tail to the right and wide. First wide there for Scariff. First meaningful attack of the game from Scariff. Something in the first wide. Keane Headman now setting up for the first puck out of the game for himself. Headman long puck out now and towards the half forward, and great puck out against this wind. Coming out into that TJ O'Connor trying to get up onto the ball, but it's cleared away by Scariff down towards the half forward line where Ian Murray now is coming onto it. Murray now tackled by Conor Quinn, trying to press on Hassan, but Murray gets it up into his hand, sends a lovely little ball over the head in towards Shane Corrie. Corrie now trying to pick up to it. Across now comes Evan Constantine. Constantine just caught. Corrie just managed to tip the ball away from him there as Constantine was coming across, and he tapped him with the hurling. It's going to be a free in now for Scariff. Small bit of a late challenge. Soft free. And now Paddy McNamara is going to stand over this now for Scariff. Again, strong wind blowing in his favour, but hard to judge in these conditions. And that's going to be the first score for Scariff, over the bar from Paddy McNamara. So we've almost 10 minutes gone in the first half. And it's 1 point apiece. Long puck out again from Hedeman. Up over that now, coming down onto it is Jordan McHugh trying to get that up. Tom O'Shea fighting inside there, but it's picked up there by Scariff, cleared down below and towards Ian Murray again. Murray taking on Conor Quinn and getting past him again, driving inside, little flick pass across now, but Conor Murray was too slow onto that one now, but it's picked up inside by the Scariff man. Back helping out is Robert Davern trying to effect the clearance. He doesn't get it up into his hand, and instead comes to Martin Cunningham. Cunningham hand pass inside in towards Shane Corrie. Corrie pushed to the ground, but it's Pallaskenry now are going to come away with this ball. Down over is Killian Gavin trying to get it up into his hand, but he's beaten to it. And across comes Martin Cunningham. Cunningham trying to get the ball up into his hands again there now, out on the far side. Again, hard from here to see what that free was for. Small bit maybe over exuberance from Killian Gavin trying to get onto that, but John Butler saw free there. That's going to be a second free in now for Scariff, just inside the 21 yard line, way over on the far sideline. Difficult angle. Paddy McNamara from Killinall standing over this one again. Killennan. McNamara, good strike again. but not as accurate in this occasion. That's the second wide now for Scariff, and the score remains 1 point apiece. Long puck out again from Hedeman down over towards TJ O'Connor's wing. O'Connor putting up to the hand, but he's beaten away to it. Away from it comes Scariff. McNamara trying to get it across, but instead Jordan McClough comes across, leaves the run past him, but Luke Doran comes onto this one now. Luke Doran driving towards the half forward line, getting past Michael Barris. Luke Doran still going on now, straight going in towards the goal. He's into the 21, hand pass across towards Andrew Cliff, but it's intercepted there by Scariff, and they're coming away with the ball. Doran now trying to get back and trying to tackle inside, puts the Hurley across, but again Scariff get away the clearance. Here Thomas Shea coming across to it, but instead now Robert Davern getting the ball instead. Lovely ball across there now to Killian Gavin. Gavin getting the ball over, he's chased there now by Sean Minogue. Minogue trying to get the tackle in, but instead Gavin gets a shot away. Is it accurate? No, it's not. Second wide for Pallaskenry. Just a little bit of pressure there from them. Second wide for Pallaskenry in the game. Andrew Dwyer now with a long puck out over towards the sideline here now. Luke Doran going up for this one now, tipped away from him by Shane Corrie. Down over that is Thomas Shea, gets the hand pass away towards Jerome McHugh. Long ball down blowing towards Darren O'Connell. Darren O'Connell trying to shield his man away from him, but he's beaten to it instead by John Scanlon. Tom Shea getting a touch onto it, but it's knocked over towards Shane Corrie. Corrie getting a long ball towards the full forward line, but it's going to go all the way in towards Keane Hedeman. Hedeman steady out, gets the ball into his hand, and long clearance from Hedeman out towards the half forward line, over towards TJ O'Connor. O'Connor now with loads of space inside him. Diarmaid McNamara coming over to put a bit of pressure on him. TJ O'Connor doesn't get it up into hands properly now, trying to find Robert O'Grady, but O'Grady had gone in front of him, and Scariff now on the attack again. So inside towards the full forward line, Considine coming across to the tackle on the ball, and that's quite a hefty tackle inside there by Evan Considine. It's going to be a free in now for Pallaskenry. I think John Butler wants to have a word with him as well. Referee John Butler now is going to come out and have a word with the fullback Evan Considine. It's going to be a free in from Scariff from around the 45-yard line there. Still some attention being given to their player inside. I think it's John Scanlon. And a yellow card for Evan Considine. Just Colin Burke got that, and now standing over it again. Paddy McNamara. It's his third scoreable free of this half. Straight in front of the goal should be no problem for him. McNamara with the free. This time it's to the left and wide. Bad miss there from Paddy McNamara. Would have been a fairly straightforward free by anyone's standards, straight in front of the goal. Could have been a second point for Scariff. Hard to say, but maybe nerves playing a little bit of an issue at this stage. It isn't much the final stage of the competition. It still remains 1 point apiece. Keane Hedeman now waiting on the setter to come into him. Hedeman long puck out now down towards Killian Gavin, drawing over the head of Andrew Cliff, coming straight in towards John Scanlon. Scanlon with this clearance now up towards the half forward line, runs past everybody now, and to win instead comes Colin Burke. Burke now trying to get there across. Considine coming across him again, and that's a third foul from Evan Considine. I think John Butler's going to have a very strict word with him now. He is just after being booked. I mean, Murray standing over this one from Bodike. Getting the strike away. That one is wide as well, however, from Scariff. It's a fourth wide of the game from Scariff. All from frees. Still 1 point apiece at the moment. Leave me alone, I'm walking. High ball from Headman. Andrew Cliff coming out to meet it, knocks it back now towards Robert O'Grady. Grady getting the hand pass inside towards Killian Gavin. Gavin with space sends it down towards the full forward line where it comes down towards Evan McCarthy. After the line it comes down to Darren O'Connell. O'Connell surrounded by Scariff, gets the pass away out towards McHugh trying to get space, but again crowded out by the Scariff players. Darren O'Connell coming across to try and challenge now, but it's cleared away there by Andrew Flaherty sending a long ball down towards the half forward line. Ross Griffin coming across to try and meeting this wherever by Ian Murray, picking up the break, low ball inside towards the full forward line, across to wherever comes Conor Quinn, pick it up for Pallaskenry, but he's robbed by Colin Burke running onto the breaking ball, sends a pass across towards Paddy McNamara. McNamara leaving run past him, still on the ball. McNamara, low shot towards the goals, saved by Keane Headman, picked up by Evan Constantine. Constantine coming out towards the sideline, chopped down by Colin Burke, and is cleared out towards the half forward towards the half back line again now. Great save inside there by Keane Headman, and it runs out over line. It's going to be a line ball now for Scariff.
Hanging on.
Line ball from Scariff picked up by Jared McHugh by Robert O'Grady, losing the ball, picked up there instead by Shane Curry. He sends it down in towards Ian Murray sending the ball inside, but it's picked up instead by Josh Adams. High ball out towards the sideline here, up goes Jared McHugh, leaves a run past him now, breaking down around the sideline here. McHugh trying to win the break now, challenged there by Martin Cunningham. McHugh still managed to get it away. High pull there maybe inside. Robert Davern trying to get the ball away, coming away with it, he's sending it out towards the side. Still flying onto the ball, hasn't got it up in their hand, but Scariff now 3-4 men hunting around the ball, still managed to get it away, and it's up to Sean Minogue now getting the ball away, blocked down brilliantly there by Luke Doran. It breaks out over instead to Ian Murray picking up the ball, time to take on his man, challenged instead by Jordan McHugh, blocked down, still Murray on the ball, tapped inside there by Ross Griffin, and Ron Butler says that's going to be a foul. He says we're pushing it back from Josh Adams instead. And again, it's going to be a free in now for Scariff. Another free now for Scariff. Ian Murray again standing over this one. Just inside the 45-yard line, lifts and strikes. This one again is going to be going to the left and wide again for Scariff. That is their 5th wide of the game. With this strong breeze behind them, they've missed 5 scoreable opportunities. They've had 1 goal chance saved by Keane Headman, and it's still 1 point apiece. Amazingly so for Pallaskenry. They managed to hang on in there at the moment. Keane Headman, long puck out again towards it. It's picked up outside there by Dave McGrath. McGrath doesn't get up the first opportunity, sent inside however, and it comes away with it now is John Scanlon. Scanlon trying to step inside his man, gets his clearance down towards the half forward line. Across where comes Conor Quinn. Quinn getting into his hand. Little pass outside towards Ross Griffin. And he kicks it down towards field. Andrew Cliff puts up the paw and catches it, and it's a great catch by Andrew Cliff, sends it down, but he's half hooked, and instead John Scanlon comes across to take it. Little hand hurley pass across towards Martin Cunningham. Cunningham slips inside to Andrew Cliff, sends the ball down towards the half forward line. But instead Conor Quinn comes out in front of it. Ross Griffin with the hand pass out towards Luke Doran. It's a bit Great score, great clearance there by Luke Doran, sent it down towards Darren O'Connell. O'Connell trying to get it up with these channels, but it breaks out towards Jordan McHugh. McHugh can't see where it's gone. Darren O'Connell comes up onto the breaking ball, however, and he's challenged high by David McGrath. It's going to be a free in for Pallaskenry now here. It's the first scoreable free, you could say, for Pallaskenry in this half. You go, Jordan McHugh discussing the rules of the game with referee John Butler. Actually, Jordan doesn't agree with what the interpretations of Pallaskenry have the free. Well won by Darren O'Connell inside there. This could be an important score for Pallaskenry if they get it. Andrew Cliff standing over this one now. Lifts, strikes, sends it high, but just wide again for Pallaskenry. So that's their third wide of the game. Cliff usually so deadly for frees, 9 frees in the semi-final, 9 scores from the semi-final he got for Pallaskenry. He was deadly accurate, but again hard to judge with this wind at the moment. Long clearance again by the keeper now. Up for it goes Pallaskenry. It breaks out towards Killian Gavin. Gavin driving on now. Away from Scariff, gets it in time, catches it once, can't catch it again. He gets the hand pass inside towards Robert Davern. Davern doesn't get into his hand, however, breaks down onto the ground. 2, 3, 4 players going for the ball now, but it's Killian Gavin who comes up with it again. Gavin now is trying to swing, but John Butler getting into his way, and soft enough free there for Pallaskenry, I suppose. Gavin was trying to get the shot away. Butler was standing. Referee John Butler stood in his way. Gavin had to readjust and try to strike again. Went down to pick up the ball, and I think it was Dave McGrath or Scariff just came down over his back a small bit. So now we get a third opportunity for Andrew Cliff now. This one maybe a little bit more straightforward, straight in front of the goals, just inside the 45-yard line. Robert Devon looking for a quick one. Cliff, however, is going to take his time, steady, strike and shoot, and straight over the bar by the Ballybrown man. That's the second score for Pallaskenry, second score for Andrew Cliff. And now Pallaskenry are going to lead 2-1. And we've about 20 minutes gone in the first half. Long ball out from Andrew Dwyer down towards the half forward line. Breaking over all their hits and onto the circles, Patrick McNamara. Ross Griffin, however, gets onto the break, steadies and clears a long ball down towards the field, coming towards Robert Davern. Davern getting it up into his hand, taking on his man now, John Scanlon. Davern checking inside, gets his shot half blocked down, but it's going to break inside now towards Evan McCarthy. But instead, full back in, Doyle comes out in front of him instead, out towards Martin Cunningham. Cunningham, plenty of time and space to get the clearance away, but it's a low ball now. Luke Doran's coming across, and Doran intercepts that one now. Gets up into his hand, lifts and strikes, sends it high ball down again towards Evan McCarthy again. McCarthy putting up the paw, breaks it down towards Robert Davern. Davern can't get it up to his hand first time. It's breaking around inside there. Darren O'Connell coming over, but instead Scariff come away at the ball, sends it out towards David McNamara. McNamara lowers the space and time, and he sends the ball down towards the half forward line again. Up goes Conor Quinn, or Josh Adams trying to break onto that one now. Murray gets it up, or Shane Curry, gets it up into his hand. Curry now looking for support, sends it over towards Martin Cunningham. Cunningham, long diagonal ball over towards the corner where it's going to be breaking over towards Ruben Noyes. Evan Constantine coming over to challenge him now, trying to steady him up, trying not to challenge, trying not to foul. He's on that yellow card, he has to be careful. He gets the ball across over towards Martin Cunningham. Cunningham couldn't get it up into his hand. He was straight through on goal if he did. And instead Pallaskenry are going to come over to Luke Doran and tap it out to the side, but instead Conor Quinn gets it across to the square, and Evan Constantine getting it up in his hand and managed to effect some sort of a clearance out the field. Not too far out the field, he got it over towards the time, but he got it out of the danger area anyway. There's Colin Burke who fizzed that ball across the square for Scariff. Could have been dangerous, but Evan Constantine was in the right place at the right time, and Pallaskenry now pick up the breaks from that line ball and send it out towards midfield. Scariff coming onto it, however, instead Darren McNamara is trying to pick it up. He's challenged there by two Pallaskenry men, and it's Robert Davern who comes away with it. Davern taking the shoulder, still holding onto the ball and sending it over towards Killian Gavin. Gavin getting it up into his hand, looks up, surveys his options, tries to find Andrew Cliff over, but instead is intercepted by John Scanlon. Cliff's challenging Scanlon now, but he still gets his clearance away for Scariff. Send the ball down towards the half forward line now again. Inside comes onto the Scariff coming forward. Ross Griffin trying to get up into his hand, but it breaks away from him as well. Pallaskenry are tackling hard and harrying hard and managed to get a clearance, and John Butler saw something wrong there as well after that ball had gone away. Maybe it was a late chance from Scariff, because he's going to be talking now to Paddy McNamara. For Scariff, he's going to have a quick word. He's going to take his name and his details, and he's going to give him a yellow card. Didn't see what it was for. Something after the play had gone on, and that's a yellow card for Paddy McNamara. So in terms of yellows, their levels, they're level in terms of wides. Scariff are ahead on that one 5-3, and in terms of points, Pallaskenry, which is the important score, ahead 2 points to 1. Ross Griffin now with the free for Pallaskenry, lifts and strikes a high ball hanging in the wind. Out to it comes Evan Constantine. He's coming a long way for this one now, instead it breaks out now towards Robert Davern settling up, gets his strike away. It's dropping short. Andrew Dwyer wasn't 100% confident on that high ball, and it's out over towards the half, just outside the corner forward. Evan Constantine trying to get a pass away. It wasn't a great pass, but Andrew Cliff managed to make a bit of a six purse of a Sousie over a pass there, and he got a belt for his trouble, but he also got a free in a very scoreable position. Cliff down now. Thank his Ballybrown clubmate any time for that pass. It wasn't a great one. Cliff had to work hard to get onto it. He got a belt for his troubles, but he got the free, and as I said, in a very score position. And Cliff lifts and strikes, and there's been no indication yet, but there is a point. It is a score for Pallaskenry. Send them 3 points to 1 into the lead. The third score from a free from Andrew Cliff. Third score, 2 from frees for Andrew Cliff. Andrew Dwyer is very quick to get on with it. Luke Doran coming out to chance for that ball. Ball breaks out over the sideline. It's line ball now for Pallaskenry. 3 points to 1 for Pallaskenry now in the lead against the strong breeze now. Luke Doran looking to take a quick one now, but he's going to settle up instead. Low cut from Doran. Jordan McHugh trying to get up to his hands. Andrew Doran now coming onto it now. Didn't get into his hand first time. Gavin now getting up his hand, challenged by 2 Scariff men, 3 Scariff men. Still Gavin managed to get the ball away. Scariff calling for the ball was out. Gavin still got it down towards Darren O'Connell. Connell trying to take on his man, sends the ball in towards Evan McCarthy, but across inside comes TJ O'Connor. TJ now blocked down instead by Darren McNamara. He gets the ball up into his hand as well. He's trying to get away his clearance, challenged by Darren O'Connell. McNamara still being pushed in towards the corner. Darren O'Connell now is on the ball. It's hard to see Sport returning away now, but it's a line ball. Line ball for who? I'm not too sure. Both sides are playing on at the moment. Darren O'Connell trying to come away with that. Whistle has gone. It is a line ball, but with supporters going a good 10 feet into the line, it's very hard to see as to who it is. Barrett seems to be pointing outwards for Scariff, so it must be a line ball for Scariff, which they take quickly in towards David McGrath getting the ball away down towards the sideline, up towards guys Andrew Cliff getting the ball into his hand. He's challenged there by Michael Barrett. Cliff gets the ball however over towards Tom Shea onto the ball now, settles instead but doesn't get a great strike onto that, and it's going to land instead into Darren McNamara. Long clearance out towards the half forward line across from Evan Constantine. Ross Griffin coming over to help him out. Griffin gets his hand, he's challenged there by Scariff again, but Griffin still fighting, still pushing it out. Colin Burke coming out to pick it up for Scariff. Tom O'Shea now coming over, give him a hand. Kildimo man getting the hand pass out back towards Evan Constantine. Constantine now inside into Robert McHugh. Andrew Cliff on the ball now. Little pass over towards Jordan McHugh. McHugh now coming onto it. He's going to be challenged now by 2 Scariff men. McHugh still gets up in his hand, takes the short steps, touch the hurley, gets his strike away. It's curling however, and it's just gone wide.
Unlucky, Ger, unlucky.
Wind is furious.
Unlucky, Ger, unlucky.
He gave a little roar after he hit that. I didn't know if it was a roar to say it was going over, or a roar because he was disappointed that it was gone wide. But anyway, Scariff again, quick to get on with the game. Ruben Noyes over on this inside towards Burke, but Evan Constantine comes across and affects the clearance here, but he only gets it as far as Martin Cunningham with the high strike, long strike, an accurate strike from Martin Cunningham, sends the ball over the bar, and that's the first score from play for Scariff, their second score of the match, and it makes it 3 points to 2. Long a puck out this time. It's lower trajectory on that. It's going to be through Andrew Cliff instead. Killian Gavin comes onto it now, knocking it forward, trying to get onto the break, but Scariff coming away with this now. Instead it's near McNamara clearance carrying in the wind out towards the full forward line. Josh Adams goes up and bats that out, but it only goes as far as another Scariff man. Ruben Noyes now is challenged there by Ross Griffin. It's Colin Burke is challenged there by Ross Griffin. Referee says that was a slightly high challenge there, and it's going to be a free in now against the wind. Or with the wind, sorry, for him. And you see Ian Murray is coming across to stand over this one now. Murray lifts, strikes, carries it forward a little bit, it's dropping low, and it's going straight over though. Keane Hedeman was confident enough to leave that one just drop over the bar. So that's the third point of the game for Scariff, bringing them level now after almost half an hour of play now. At the moment it's 3 points apiece. Pallaskenry themselves will be very happy with how this game has gone so far. You just keep it tight, but Scariff on the attack again. Constantine getting more adjusted to the roll, getting a great block in, coming out to challenge again. Ball gets away inside towards Paddy McNamara. McNamara shot in a goal for Scariff. Not an awful lot that Keane Hedeman could have done about that. Paddy McNamara picking up the ball from the hand pass inside, drove inside towards the 13, finished into the top corner, and Ruben Noyes now is down at the moment for Scariff. Big score for Scariff just before half time. Pallaskenry selected Brian Chambers coming up now, trying to encourage his men after that goal from Scariff. The reaction is all important now from Pallaskenry. The next score now is vital in this game. They've been doing so well so far. 3 points to 2 up at one stage. 3 points to 1 up as one stage as well, against a very strong breeze. Ruben Noyes back on his feet, but I don't think he's going to play any more part in this game. Hobbling towards the sideline, and it looks like Josh Maloney is going to come on in his place. Hedeman with the puck out now for Pallaskenry, sending it down towards midfield. It's breaking past Andrew Cliff. Michael Barr trying to go down, that gets it up into his hand. Trying to drive and try, sending the ball in towards the half forward line now again. Ross Griffin coming over, picking up the breaks. Drive past one challenge, two challenge, and he gets his free out, half held there by Sean Minogue. Griffin now keen to try and get on with this, trying to recoup back the lead that they just lost. Not a great strike by Griffin, but it's landing in towards the half forward line now. TJ O'Connor going up, but he's beaten it instead. Not a great hand pass out by the Scariff man, and Robert Davin trying to come up onto that break, doesn't get it up his hand, and Scariff now driving it out towards the the sideline. Thomas Shea, however, pulling on the ball, sending it out towards the sideline, and that's half time now in the game. First half over, an entertaining enough first half. It's been a tough first half. The wind has played a big role in this. Pallaskenry were definitely holding their own for the majority of that game, of that first half, going to a 3 points to 1 lead. Scariff pulling it back to 3-3, and then that big hammer blow just before half time of that goal. From Paddy McNamara. So at the half time, as both teams go back in towards the dressing room, it's Pallaskenry 3 points, Scariff 1-3. So back out for the semi-final of this Munster Under-18 C Championship final between Scariff and Pallaskenry. Score sends Pallaskenry 3 points, Scariff 1 goal and 3 points. Pallaskenry now turned around to play with a strong breeze in the second half. No changes that I can see from from the teams that went out beforehand, and Barrett gets off the game again straight away. Scariff trying to put down a bit of a melee there around the ball now as they both try to pick it up. Instead, it's Pallaskenry are coming away with it. Tom O'Shea driving it out towards Killian Gavin. Out towards Jordan McHugh, who tries to whip it forward now. It's still on the ground there, picked up inside it by Scariff's breaking around inside. It's no continuity, no flow to the game properly yet now at the moment, but it's Pallaskenry are trying to get up, but it's whipped out the field there now. Across the road to this ball comes Russell Griffin. Griffin now is going to have time to get it up, but he's going to have to be quick. Steps inside two players twice. Nearly had the steps now calling for the Scariff players, but Ross gets his clearance away up towards Robert Davern. Davern now couldn't get the ball up into his hand first time. McGrath instead gets in front of him trying to break it all, but it's very scrappy, it's very bad blatant. And Scariff now going to get the free out. Tom O'Shea coming in with the shoulder straight into the chest, and it's going to be a free out now for Scariff. John Scanlon standing over this free now for Scariff. High ball now towards the full forward line, over across him. Ross Griffin to try and claim it now. He clears two people out the way, but Scariff are coming away with the ball. Josh Adams trying to whip that out now. Conor Quinn trying to get the ball up into his hand, but Scariff still have the ball, break it out, and it's going to go just wide. Scariff are calling for a penalty inside there. I think they felt that Conor Quinn had tripped up Shane Corrie as he was going through. Referee John Butler didn't agree with it, however, and Keane Headman is now going to take the puck off for Pallaskenry. Headman, long ball down towards the half forward line. Up goes TJ O'Connor, but it breaks past him in towards Andrew Cliff. Cliff trying to get on. He's after losing the Under Armour jersey for the second half. And Diarmaid McNamara winning that ball now and winning the free for Scariff. John Scanlon, joint captain of this team now, standing over this ball again, looking down towards the wing, sends the ball low in towards the corner, towards Sean Minogue, but instead it's Robert O'Grady who comes out, chipped and arched the head by highest challenge by Minogue as he was trying to clear the ball, as he was trying to challenge Robert O'Grady. O'Grady, whoever played on, got the free. And Ross Griffin now is going to come across to take this now. Great work there by Robert O'Grady to win that ball under fierce pressure, managed to get up and get the free. Ross Griffin now standing over this, picks, strikes, high ball, long ball in towards the full forward line. This is travelling the whole distance, is it? Just wide, however, by Ross Griffin. It's a great effort carried a fine distance from Ross Griffin, but unfortunately it just went wide, and that's the first wide of the second half for Pallaskenry. 5 wides in all so far in the game. Still at 3 points, still 1-3 to 3 points now in favour of Scariff, as Andrew Dwyer sends this ball long and high down towards the half forward line. Tom O'Shea looking at this, watches as it comes down, puts up the paw and catches it straight into his hand. He's shouted by Josh Maloney, but getting the ball up now towards Killian Gavin. Gavin driving forward, great pace on Gavin. He sends the ball in towards McCarthy. McCarthy breaks outside towards Robert Davern. Davern's going to bend his back. He's pushed off it, however, there by the corner back, and Scariff comes away with it now. And it's Dave McGrath. McGrath then is fouled, and it's going to be a free out now for Scariff. Small bit of shoving, small bit of pushing and shoving inside there from both sides there. Sorry, I think it was Conor Apsell who came across for that to win that ball. And free out from McGrath, sending out towards, just goes past Andrew Cliff. Luke Doran now going across towards that one now. Plenty of time, gets it up into his hand, steps back inside. Shane Corrie coming inside now towards the midfield, sending the ball over towards Killian Gavin. Gavin stepping inside Martin Cunningham, pulled back by Cunningham. There's three Scariff men around him now. There doesn't need to be any Pallaskenry help, but Gavin still managed to get the ball away in towards the full forward line. High ball now in towards Robert Davern. Darren O'Connell trying to get the ball up there now as well. Breaking outside, Tom O'Shea coming into challenge, but instead it's John Scanlon who's coming away. It's a stormer of a game from Scariff. Kicks the ball forward. No footballers in clear, they say. Send it over towards half forward line. Luke Doran put in the challenge. Thought maybe he was shoving the back, but Doran still managed to get the free away and gets the point as well. A great score from Luke Doran from the half back line. Wind carried it a nice bit. Scariff people calling, Scariff supporters and mentors calling for the free there, however. Doran picked up the ball, drove on, high ball, straight over the bar. 2 point game now. Pallaskenry 4 points, Scariff 3. Sean Minogue going up with a great catch there for Scariff. Challenged by Robert O'Grady. just onto the head, and it's going to be a free in now for Scariff, and they take it quickly now, and it goes down inside towards Josh Maloney. Maloney managed to get the ball back out towards Martin Cunningham, but he's challenged instead, however, by TJ O'Connor. It's helped out by Robert O'Grady. Sends it inside now towards Killian Gavin. Gavin, long high ball towards. This is going to be travelling all the way. That's going to be a great score for Pallaskenry. Killian Gavin with a mighty point there for Pallaskenry again, and now it's a 1-score game. It's 5 points to Pallaskenry. It's 1 free to Scariff. Great work there by the Pallaskenry players, by the Pallaskenry defenders there. And a mighty score from Killian Gavin. You can see there the strength of that wind as they carry that ball over the bar. Now Scariff now, long clearance out by Andrew Dwyer. Up over that now. Killian Gavin trying to get the ball up, but instead it's Scariff are coming away with it. Hand pass inside, but he's surrounded out there by Josh Adams, or Luke Doran, sorry. And Killian Gavin. And Gavin now coming away with it, showing great space, but he's been caught up by the Scariff players. And he's tackled, losing the ball. Cliff coming across to try and block, but the clearance is out towards the Pallaskenry full back line. Over there is Ross Griffin picking up the brakes, gets it into his hand, steps inside 2 men, and he's blocked over by Josh Maloney. Maloney now getting up to his hand, but he's dispossessed and sent it out. But Griffin back on his feet, comes inside, steps it back inside and gets his clearance away. It's a low ball, however, not a great ball. TJ O'Connor working hard to try and get it. Andrew Cliff coming across the challenge. David McNamara up for the ball as well. 2-3 fellas looking over it now, but it's David McNamara who comes away with the break, and he gets his clearance now down towards the full forward line for Scariff. Over across comes Ian Murray. Murray trying to take on his player Josh Adams. Murray stepping inside him now. Across comes Ron McKeown to try and help him out. Robert O'Grady. Josh Adams now challenging Minogue. Minogue getting the ball over inside and towards Murray. Murray coming across. He's challenged by Considine. He's dispossessed. Murray trying to step over or under Considine. He tries to pick up the ball and he's fouled in by Pallaskenry players that they challenged down around him. Possibly should have been free a few moments ago before that. Free that was given was a small bit soft, but a free nonetheless. And this will be a vital one now for Scariff trying to stem the flow after those 2 great long range points from Pallaskenry. Referee Barrett going in now to have another word with his linesman there to start of this half again. Now to have a word with Robert O'Grady for something that happened off the ball. I didn't quite see what happened here now myself. These umpires obviously did, but it's just a tick in there, no card. As Ian Murray stands over this, he's going to go high. He's not going to take a shot on goal. Send it straight over the bar. And that's another score now for Scariff, first of the second half. The third from a free, and it's 1 goal and 4 points to 5 points, still in favour of Scariff. Andrew Cliff letting the ball goes over his head, fighting for the ball, gets it up at the third attempt and steps inside. High ball, looking towards the goal, it's looking in the right direction, and then it's straight over the bar. Great response from Pallaskenry again there from Andrew Cliff. He's 4th score of the game, he's 2nd from play. And that again brings it back to a 1-score game. It's 6 points to Pallaskenry, 1-4 to Scariff. Dwyer, long puck out again. Going up for this was Killian Gavin and Ross Griffin coming over behind the back for Darren McNamara trying to fight for the ball, but Griffin kicking it forward. It's breaking still around. Had to see who's going to come away, but instead it's John Scanlon who comes up with this ball for Scariff. A great composing presence inside there in the full back line. Over there now is number 19. Paddy McNamara sending it inside, but instead it's intercepted by Conor Quinn. Quinn picking the ball and a strike and sending it out towards the half forward line. Up for it goes Jordan McKeown. Cliff comes onto the breaking ball. Cliff takes a look at the post. He strikes. Is he accurate? He looked away straight away. He ran away straight away. He knew it was over the bar, and that's another score for Pallaskenry. And now we are at a level game. It's 1 goal, 4 points to Scariff. It's 7 points to Pallaskenry. It's all level here now. And we've got about 10 minutes gone in the second half, 20 minutes left in this game. Andrew Dwyer now with the puck out. Pallaskenry seem to be able to pick their scores off much more easier from play than the Scariff counterparts. Sean Minogue trying to come away with that. Minogue sends it out towards the half forward line. Josh Adams challenging for that ball there now. Josh again, hard to see what was happening there. It was Ian Murray who was going down over that ball, and there was a push into the back or shoulder into the back. And it's another free in now for Scariff. Ian Murray now standing over this one again. This I think will be his fourth free of the game. He's had 2 wides, 2 scores. This one now is going all the way over the bar. There's a bit of confusion inside, but the umpires agreed that that's going to be a point. And that's another score for Scariff, and it puts him back into the lead by 1 again. Scariff back into the lead now, 1-5, 8 points to 7 points for Pallaskenry. Breaking down inside, Killian Gavin taking it up, stepping inside, coming away, great pace from Gavin, straight inside towards goal. He's got a clear run of goal, he's into the 22, he takes a shot low off the crossbar, and that's gone over the bar. Could so easily have been underneath. It's Gavin, great pace off and picked up the breaking ball, drove inside in towards the 21, rasper of a shot in towards the top corner, hit off the crossbar and over the bar. Ties up the game again. Could have put Pallaskenry into the lead, but instead it's 1-5 to Scariff, 8 points to Pallaskenry. Substitution now here, and the Pallaskenry team is number 14, Evan McCarthy, is replaced by number 25, Michael Davern. High ball over there, Luke Doran coming down on the ball, bending his back, getting it up, striking it down in towards the full forward line, sending it over towards Darren O'Connell. Connell coming out in front of his man, steps aside, takes a little step, hand pass or hurley pass back out towards Robert Davern. Davern with his first shot, or it might have been the second shot of the game, it was low trajectory on it. Low trajectory on that, but it went wide, so that's another wide for Pallaskenry. They're second of this half, they're 6th overall. Again, Andrew Dwyer is going to take this puck out now for Scariff. TJ O'Connor going up. Great catch by TJ O'Connor as he drives forward now. Looks at the stages up, looks at the post, it's going direct to the post, it's not going to make it all the way. Davern puts up his hurley, but it breaks inside him. Darren O'Connell is going over to try and hit that ball, but instead it's Ian Doyle who comes away with it. Doyle going over towards the sideline now as he's challenged there by Mikey Davern and Darren O'Connell, and he's fouled there instead by the 2 Pallaskenry players. He's come over, he's congratulated there by Conor Apsell. Great defending there by Ian Doyle to pick up and run out towards the sideline and get the clearance away, win the free and gets the pot away, but not a great free however by him as Gerald McHugh tries to get that ball up, but he loses it, couldn't get into his hand, and instead it's Shane Corrie is coming away with it, driving down the sideline for Scariff, down towards the 45, over the 45 in towards the 21. He still has the ball, he's challenged there by Ross Griffin. Griffin managed to knock the ball away from him, and it's Andrew Cliff is going to come over and help him out. Cliff trying to get the ball up into his hand, it's bobbling around the place, but Cliff managed to get control over the shoulder, sends it back out towards the side, over towards the midfield, but instead Michael Barrett's come over to claim that one now, gets it up, hurley pass inside now, and Conor Burke is going to come away with it. He's challenged by 3 Pallaskenry men, still on the ball, but however Ross Griffin, lovely interception by Ross Griffin, sends it over towards, breaks out towards Tom Shea. Tom Shea managed to get the ball out towards Gerard McHugh. McHugh, long clearance down towards the full forward line. This is trying to be dropping down below on Mikey Davern. Davern puts up the ball, but he can't get it into his hand. However, and it goes both wide. Scariff trying to take a quick free. They had about 3 free men there inside their half back line. There was no Pallaskenry men inside. They'd all dropped back in towards their own half back line. But referee John Barrett calls a halt to the play for a while as there's an injured man down for Scariff over on the far side. Puck out now for Scariff from Andrew Dwyer. High ball now in towards midfield. Killian Gavin, Tom O'Shea, DJ O'Connor going up towards this now. Tom O'Shea coming in with the shoulder. It's picked up inside by Sean Minogue. Minogue can't get back up to his feet, trying to get the ball out. Touches on the ground there right top, and instead Tom O'Shea is trying to come up with this break around. There's a lot of hurleys flying in around the place, trying to get control of the ball. As Killian Gavin is going to step up and try and take control of the situation. Gets it into his hand, chatting by 3 Scariff men, but he still managed to break away. Throws the ball up, touches onto the hurley. It has a shot, but it's just gone wide. It's hard work for both sets of teams here. The pitch on the foot is in good condition. The ground isn't that wet, but it's still hard to try and get the ball up into your hand. Andrew Cliff trying to go up and get that one now. It gets it the second attempt off the ground. Has a look, sends the ball high now in towards the full forward line. Michael Davern's going to come out and try and meet this one. Oh, great catch by Davern. Davern driving towards the goal. And, well, one fella seemed to be going for a point. The other fella seemed to be going wide. And I think it was a wide. Yeah, that's a wide for Pallaskenry. Thought for a moment there that the umpire on the right hand side was calling for a point. The umpire on the left hand side said it was wide. And referee John Bear agrees with the fellow on the left hand side. High ball out now towards midfield. Gavin going up with his fat dog by Sean Minogue, who drives it back in towards his half corner back. David McGrath gets the clearance across over towards the far side. Scariff coming up with the ball there now. I think it was Shane Corrie, but he's intercepted however. Luke Doran helped out there ably by by Tom O'Shea. Tom O'Shea showing great space now, great speed. More inside, hands pass inside to Robert Davern. Davern met by one shoulder, loses possession of the ball. Great tackle by Éanna Doyle there. Like, he had to come out and meet him. He met him, but he didn't quite get the man, but it was enough to just intercept him. However, coming out with the ball, Éanna Doyle however fouls the ball on the ground, picks it up off the ground, and it's going to be a free in for Pallaskenry. Doyle doesn't seem to agree completely with something there that happened afterwards. Éanna Doyle definitely doesn't agree with what the referee is saying to him there, and he's having fierce words with him aside. Walks away from him now however, as Andrew Cliff now is going to stand over this ball. It's going to be free for Pallaskenry. Cliff standing over this one now, another free for Pallaskenry. Sends that high and over the bar. And that for the first time, or for the first time in this half, sorry, sends Pallaskenry back into the lead. Pallaskenry now back into the lead. It's 1 goal, 5 points, for Scariff. It's 8 points for them, and it's 9 points for Pallaskenry. And it's Killian Gavin now who's on that ball, sends it high in towards the full forward line. Davern now trying to make a nuisance of himself inside, leaves the run past it, breaks inside towards Andrew O'Dwyer, the keeper, comes around, cross challenge by Darren O'Connell. Andrew O'Dwyer trying to get away, steps called for by Pallaskenry. Dwyer still on the ball, still has it, and he catches up 3 times surely there. Yes, he does, and it's going to be a free in for Pallaskenry. Great pressure by the Pallaskenry forwards. Hassling and harrying the keeper as he's trying to come out. Keepers don't like pressure, they prefer just to have loads of space and clear the ball away and get rid of it. Great pressure by the Pallaskenry forwards. And Andrew Cliff now is standing over this free for Pallaskenry. No doubt in that one, sends it high and over the bar. Now Pallaskenry gone into a 2-point lead, 10 points for Pallaskenry, 1 goal and 5 for Scariff, and they're in fierce hurry to get on with this now as Darren McNamara takes that quick free as TJ O'Connor comes across to try and disrupt the flow of that play there, takes the foul. Great encouragement from the sideline from all the spectators and selectors and mentors and the whole lot here. As that ball goes out towards the half forward line there now, it's Jeremy McCure trying to come across and challenge on that one there now. Whipping and pulling inside. Considine now trying to get over this one. Gets it up into his hand. Uses the boot to try and belt it out over towards the midfield area, but it only goes as far as the Scariff man John Murray, or Shane Corrie, Shane Corrie getting the ball off as he's falling to his feet, onto his knees, but probably would have been better served if he had steadied himself up a little bit more. That's another wide for Scariff. That's their 6th of the game, their 1st of the second half. As Evan Constantine is down over, I think it is, needing a small little bit of attention. But he's back on his feet. Keane Hedman, long puck out now for Pallaskenry. Over there now, It's Andrew Cliff who comes onto this breaking ball. Cliff looking up, sends a high ball now inside towards Darren O'Connell. Mikey Davern loitering in behind. Sorry, it's Robert Davern is loitering in behind. Davern now picking up the break, sends a high ball, and that's over the bar by Robert Davern. That's another score for Pallaskenry. That's 11 points for Pallaskenry. And they're now into a 3-point lead in a game where scores are very hard to come by. And Scariff now trying to find their way back into that game. Ian Murray fighting for that ball there over inside. Sean O'Shea trying to pick that up instead of Josh Malone. But no, at this time it's Robert O'Grady who picks up that ball and sends it high out towards the full forward line. Robert Davern trying to go up for that one now. His brother Mikey coming across the 9 help, but at the end of the dial now he's coming across inside. Small bit of afters there between Robert Davern and his marker inside, but it's more from the marker side than Robert's in fairness. And this is going to be a free out now for Scariff as Killian Gavin's accused of fouling. Fouling the number 9 Michael Barrett for Scariff. John Scanlon quick to get on with this game. Sends it down in towards Ian Murray. Murray now going to be shadowed here by Josh Adams. Adams falls, however, Murray gets inside him, trying to step inside Ross Griffin, and Griffin is fouled by Murray as he went over on that ball, and it's a free out now for Pallaskenry.
Well done.
Keith Headman coming out to take that free now. It's a great hook out by Headman, send it down towards Robert Davern. Andrew Cliff coming across to get the break. John Scanlon, whoever's going to pick this up for Scariff, doesn't get into his hands in the first occasion. Across comes Darren O'Connell now to pick it up for Pallaskenry. Darren O'Connell's pushed inside in towards the corner, gets out towards Davern. Davern gets the pass out back out towards Andrew Cliff. Cliff hurried at the shot, snatched it at a small bit and sends it wide. However, for Pallaskenry, Andrew Doyle now is very quick to get on with this game. He's not hanging around at all, sends it out towards Michael Barrett. Barrett driving inside, he's shadowed there however by Killian Gavin. He gets the strike inside towards the full forward line. Conor Quinn is going to come across to meet this, and it's a free in, and it was Paddy McNamara who was coming across onto trying to break inside Conor Quinn. Quinn was just stuck the hand out just across McNamara. Scariff now standing over, have the free inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Pallaskenry men back on the line. John Scanlon has come up from his half back to take this free. Bird now is telling him where to take it from, where the strike is to be taken from. He's going in now to talk to the Pallaskenry men on the line, I think. He's happy that everything is above board, everything is as it should be. Pallaskenry braced himself inside the line. John Scanlon's not coming up just to knock this one over the bar. Scanlon 5 yards behind the ball. Barrett still not happy where the Pallaskenry players are. Scanlon runs up, lifts, doesn't get up in the first attempt, however pulls it the second now, and the one who goes as far as Killian Gavin. Gavin picks up the ball and drives out now and sends a long high ball for Pallaskenry out towards the field. Robert Davern's coming out to meet this one now. Davern doesn't get into the hurley, taps it down in towards Darren O'Connell. O'Connell trying to go down the ball, but he breaks outside, kicks it back and further. O'Connell still fighting for the ball, he's pulled back there inside by Conor Rapsell. There's a small bit of melee now as both teams try to pick up this ball now. Robert Davern fighting inside there now for Pallaskenry, but it's plucked out outside there now as TJ O'Connor tried to pick up that one now. Instead Barrett comes away with it. Michael Barrett for Scariff tries to get the clearance, a small clearance, not great clearance out towards Andrew Cliff. Cliff steps inside Barrett now, he strikes the ball. This is high, this is long, this is wide for Pallaskenry. That could have been a fantastic score, a potent score for Pallaskenry. Could have put him out towards 4 points. Could have been a great boost, especially after that missed fluff chance there by John Scanlon from that free. Could that be the turning point in the game anyway? As Andrew Dwyer sends the quick puck out towards his half-back. TJ O'Connor trying to get the block in there. He doesn't get it, however, and Russell Griffin comes across, or Josh Adams, comes across to try and pick up that ball now. Luke Doran comes over to help him out, picks up the break, sends the ball back down towards midfield. But Scariff man all on his own now, plenty of time, drives the ball now inside. It was Darren McNamara sending it over now. Constantine leaves the ball, goes over his. Ross Griffin comes across to try and pick up the break inside. And now he whips it out past Shane Corrie as he picks up the ball. Corrie putting pressure on him, managed to get the ball up to his hand. Griffin doesn't get it away. Corrie sends the ball now and tries towards the forward line. Ian Murray picks this up now. Murray, little hand pass inside towards Josh. Josh straight through. Oh, great save by Keane Hedeman. Point blank save by Keane Hedeman now. Maybe it wasn't a great shot in the world by Josh Maloney, but still Hedeman had to save it, and he gets the save and he sends out there, drive out the field now for Pallaskenry as Andrew Cliff goes up to try and win that one, but it's broken out towards Andrew Flaherty. Flaherty driving out towards the full fly, but Evan Constantine is going to come across and meet this one now, but he's challenged by two Scariff men, but he still managed to get the clearance away towards Killian Gavin. Gavin picks loads of time, sends a long high ball down towards Michael Davern inside the full forward line. Davern cuts up the paw, it's tapped by Ian Doyle. Doyle gets it at the second attempt. Davern challenging now, gets the block in now. Doyle tries to get back up, and that's gone wide. Davern got the block, knocked it down, but it went wide, and it's going to be a puck out now for Scariff. Scariff very quick again to get on with it now, sends it out towards Colin Burke. Burke drive it long now down towards that forward line. Luke Doran goes up to try and win that one. It's batted down towards the centre field area as Killian Gavin comes across to try and win this one now. Gavin pushed down, foul. Luke Doran again still gets it and drives the ball away, pushed it away, and he's fouled after the ball. A silly free there by Michael Barrett, didn't need to be made, and that's going to be a free there from where the ball landed. Great work there by Luke Doran. Got his clearance away. Barrett came in with the challenge afterwards. No real need to make the challenge. The referee decided that was going to be a free in. Free now for Pallaskenry. Andrew Cliff standing over this one now. And I tell you, about 6 points so far. Licks, strikes, that's going all the way straight over the bar for Pallaskenry. That's another great score from Andrew Cliff. 7 points for him, and that's 12 points for Pallaskenry. And again, Scariff taking a quick puck out there now as they drive in towards the midfield. Hand pass over now. And he's intercepted instead there. Robert Davern working back from his cornerback position. Barrett claims that he fouled, that he whipped across him. I thought Davern went to try and get the ball. Barrett disagrees, however, said there was a free. And it's going to be a free in now from Scariff. It is a scoring position, it is a point scoring position, but at this stage they probably need a little bit more. Colin Burke standing over this one now. He decides to drop this one low into towards the square. Hurleys go flying up, it's breaking around the square, but it's whipped out by Pallaskenry. Comes out as far as TJ O'Connor. O'Connor doesn't get it into his hand, however he's challenged there by Martin Cunningham, but he managed to get away the clearance somehow out towards the field. Kicking it forward, getting it forward, well done on TJ O'Connor. He still managed to get it out, well done. He's challenged now by 2, 3 Scariff men. He's hassled, he's harried, he tries to get the kick, but he doesn't get much away, and it's onto it now is Corrie. Blocked down there by Robert Davern. There's a bit of argy-bargy going on inside there now. There's something happening. I'm not too sure. There's a free in there. Maybe something after the play. The referee wants all supporters off the line. Shane Corrie now, or Barrett standing over this one now again. Driving now towards the full forward line. So there's Colin Burke, and that's going to run, but it's going to be picked up inside by Michael Barrett. Barrett gets it over now. He's breaking outside. He's challenged by 2, 3 Pallaskenry men. He gets the ball across over around the square. It's a dangerous ball. It's picked up by Ian Murray. Murray challenged there by Tom O'Shea. Gets his hand pass out towards Josh Maloney, but Maloney is blocked fantastically there now by I think there's Rob McKeough. Rob McKeough does it, and Sean Minogue picks it up, tries to get the ball as the hailstones come pelting down on top of us. Ian Murray now trying to drive inside Josh Adams. He jumps into him. Adams stands his ground, and that's a free, and I couldn't really see what the free in was there for there now. Josh Adams stood his ground. Murray jumped into him, fell back, and Barrett felt that was a free in. Hard to see now as the conditions of the elements now start to play on us now. The hailstones lashing down on top of both sets of players as Murray is coming back out now towards the 21 to take this free. I think they'll make about 1 minute left inside in the game, there or thereabouts. Pallaskenry 12 points, Scariff 1-5. Barrett standing over this. It's 8 points to 12, 4 points in it. Murray lifts, strikes, and that goes over the bar. It's back to a 3-point game now. Possession, you have to feel, is vital in this game now. Keane Hedeman told to hurry it up now by the referee. Hedeman, long puck out towards, this is going to be dropping around the half forward line in towards the full forward line. Robert Davern's going to come across and meet this one now. Davern, quick ball, gets it up into his hand. Very well done by Michael Davern, gets it across to Andrew Cliff. Cliff with the strike, and that's wide, however, by Andrew Cliff. That could have been the seal of the game. And again, Andrew Dwyer is very quick to get on with this game. Luke Doran coming across to try and meet Michael Barry, gets the ball, but he still managed to get his ball over towards Andrew Flaherty. Flaherty sends it inside towards John Scanlon. Scanlon, danger man, driving past Constantine. It's a 3-point game as Shannon drives in towards full forward. Stopped by Hedeman on the goal line again. Hedeman, great save again by Ian Hedeman. That's his third again. That's it. It's all over. Pallaskenry are the Munster under-18 hurling champions for 2014. They've completed the double, winning the football last week. They've now completed the double. A great save there by Keane Hedeman to finish off the win. Pallaskenry are the Munster champions for 2014, beating Scariff on a scoreline of 12 points to 1-6.
Congratulate 4 teams on a fine exhibition of hurling conditions. One thing actually suits a breeze never suits a match. We always now approach 4 teams and give an exhibition of hurling. I would like to thank at this stage Staker Wallace J Club for providing the facilities and a fabulous pitch. I'd also like to thank the referee and his bunch of support, or his bunch of and now I'd like to present the cup to the winning captain.
First of all, I'd like to thank Staker Wallace for the field. It was great, like Bobby would be over it. I'd like to thank the referee and his umpires for a great game. That won, thanks lads. I'd like to thank the managers, Brian Chambers and Colin Ryan, of course Noel Mack, being there. Tough training sessions, shit field out the back, and they were there as often as we were. I'd like to thank the supporters travelling, and 2 cheers for Scariff. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hooray!